right, good evening everyone. I first want to apologize. I am a little bit all over the place because I'm currently going through some change. I'm in the process of moving, so which actually fits well with what we're going to discuss this evening. We're going to talk about moving towards the workplace of the future. What we're going to highlight is what would all of you change in the workplace today. So I'm going to get your feedback, and then I'm also going to share with you what we're going to implement moving forward to kind of keep pace with this ever-evolving workplace. Okay. Also, we're going to touch on how would this change impact you both professionally and personally. And lastly, I want to pose a question. Are we all in the boat together, or are we out of the boat? Are we rowing in the same direction, or are we going opposite direction? Okay. If you wouldn't mind, could you all just take out a quick piece of paper for a couple moments? I'd like you to jot down 1 to 2 things that you would change in our workplace today. Now that can be either within the team sitting here right now or in the broader organization. Okay, just take a few moments here to go ahead and do that. Change. Is change good or is it bad? I think Prince Philip of England actually put it best when he said that change does not change tradition, it strengthens it. Change is a challenge and an opportunity, it's not a threat. So I'm going to ask you today, will you embrace and welcome the change, or will you feel uncomfortable and unsettled? So I'd like you to, let me know, what would you change in the workplace today? Is there anyone that has anything you'd like to share? Tuisha?
Better communication amongst my colleagues.
Great. Anybody else?
Hours in the office.
Okay, great. Chris?
Food, nutrition options, plus.
Okay.
Having a smartphone policy, so we're not expected to answer emails at 11 or 12 o'clock at night.
Oh,
Good one.
I like that one.
All right, we got a lot of great ideas here. Unfortunately, I can't touch on the food and nutrition aspect of it, but we are going to highlight a bit of the communication and the hours in the office. The smartphones, we're going to kind of weave that in, and we're going to go into why that's important. Not sure we can stop it, however, I'm sure it can be managed. So I'm going to go out on a limb here to say that majority of us sitting in this room are categorized in the Gen Y or millennial demographic, and meaning that we were born between 1982 and 1993. Believe it or not, we collectively will comprise over 75% of the global workforce by 2025. What does that mean? It means that we have a greater influence in the workplace, and that employers need to recognize our needs and our wants so that they can retain us as employees. So one way of doing this that we're going to discuss and look to implement is workplace flexibility, as we discussed. So really important here is hours, location, and roles and responsibilities. This idea of this 9 to 5 is really no longer. Also, this idea of location being based out of a corporate office or a main office instead of working elsewhere or remotely or virtually. And roles and responsibilities, really nowadays, we're all doing a little bit of everything. It's really difficult to kind of hone in and define that one role that we're responsible for. One way of incorporating on top of the workplace flexibility is this idea or concept of ICT, information and communication technologies. Really the key message here is this idea of utilizing virtual teams. Like Twisha mentioned, a lot of us here, we're based out of our Princeton office. However, we have colleagues all over the country, and we're used to sending these large presentations back and forth to each other, picking up the phone and calling each other. But what about implementing resources such as our current Microsoft Office tools or Google Docs, etc.? The ability here is that we can work virtually as a virtual team and really work real time, live, and none of this draft 1, draft 2, draft 10, and just being really efficient in the workplace. And lastly here, this idea of trust-based working practices, okay? There is an increase in the number of business leaders adopting these working practices. What is trust-based working practices? We're probably all familiar with traditional practices, and that's really this idea of 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, emails turn off at 5 o'clock. Fortunately, or unfortunately rather, that's not the case. There really is this shift from hours, places, and roles to really being virtual. And like I said earlier, us being the Gen Yers, we're really spearheading this change because we don't want the same work environment that our parents had. We want to know that we have that flexibility to work the hours we want, to work where we want, but to still have the same level, if not increased productivity and efficiency, and ultimately to be happy in the workplace. So if we implemented these changes, the workplace flexibility, utilizing our advanced technologies such as Google Docs and Microsoft Office, as well as the kind of transitioning into more of a trust-based best practice, how will this change impact us professionally and personally? Well, in my opinion, the two go hand in hand. I think when you're happy at home, you're happy in the workplace. When you're happy in the workplace, you're happy at home. So I think productivity increases, you're motivated, your efficiency is up, and ultimately you're maintaining a work-life balance. So for example, someone like myself in the past may not have been able to go home for my little brother's band concert. With implementing these flexible work hours, I'd be able to leave work early, to drive the hour home, to see my 11-year-old little brother play the trombone. Also, picking up your dry cleaning. I don't know about you guys, but the dry cleaners is open the same hours that we're at work. So the ability to go and pick up our dry cleaning so we can be dressed appropriately for presentations is very critical. And lastly, with that flexibility, the future is bright. So managing kind of your professional and your personal goals, if pursuing an MBA degree is something that you want to do, much like myself, or starting a family, that's something that you're able to do without that pressure of, again, that traditional 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. You have these flex work hours that ultimately you're happy at home and you're happy in the workplace. Quickly in summary, what we would change in the workplace today. Again, Chris, sorry we can't touch on the food and nutrition piece in this meeting. However, it's something we can certainly follow up on. But we really can make a move on implementing this flexible workplace. How would this impact us professionally and personally? We'd be more satisfied and loyal employees. Really, it would increase our retention rates. And the opportunities outside the workplace would be endless, again, such as pursuing higher education and perhaps starting a family. And lastly, are we in or out of the boat? Guys, you're the only person who can take the lead for yourself, okay? Next steps, let's submit our flexible work hours next week, get that into your managers. We want to get set up with our Google Docs so we can start utilizing that as soon as possible, and we'll have a half-day training next month. We really want to believe in this trust-based working practices. And remember, we are where we are today because of all of you in this room, so I want to thank you. And I want to leave you with this quote. If you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. Thank you.